come out to Cape Clear Cemetery today. We've got a little bit of a mission happening. We've met up with a couple of people who've got very huge family grave here. We've got several family graves. I think we counted around about 14 or 15 family graves. Some of them are double graves, so it's a very, very huge family. And we've been asked to come out here by Skeeta just to check out what we can find out about some of these graves. She's done a little bit of family history, and she's only recently found out that her family are out here along with another associated family. And what we're going to do today is we're going to try and uncover who's in what grave, because there's several graves here that are unmarked, and apparently there's a little bit of a history where some of the family members died in a fire, but they're not sure who. And with some of these unmarked ones, there is no name except for the family name written on them. So we're going to have a bit of a play around today with some of the gear. We'll try some necrophonics, and we'll try some other things to try and uncover what is happening here. We've got Sally with us, who is part of our spiritual development circle, so she'll be testing out her sensing abilities, as well as Bethany, who's a medium herself, myself. We've picked up a few things, a few details already about some of the graves here, and we'll go and join the group and we'll kick off this session. We'll see what we can find out. Alright, so we're about to kick off the investigation here, and we've got quite a few. I normally don't film names on graves, but we're here for a specific purpose, and we're here to try and uncover who might be in some of the unmarked graves. And right here we have a couple of marked graves, and this is the family of concern, which is Cunningham, and also next door is an associated family of Murphy. So we'll just run through some of these graves here. We've got Alice, over the back here we've got a couple of other graves, and we've got Skeeta and, sorry I forgot your name, what was your name? Holly, that's right, Holly. We're doing the investigation of who's who in the zoo, so to speak. The interesting thing is this big one here is part of the family as well as a couple over there. We've put out a proximity pod which is just starting to beep, but we think that's just overloaded, so Bethany's just resetting it. There's a couple of interesting graves over here. There's Anthony Patrick Murphy, who died in infancy. Now the Murphys are part, there's a bit of a connection to the Cunningham family as well. And these four graves here are unmarked. So this is a question mark. Who are in these graves? And it's four large ones, and we've already sort of sensed that there's definitely more than one person in each of the graves. We've got a sensor pod out here. Got a couple of cat balls. We've got a cat ball going off. Guys, we've got a cat ball that was going off. So we've got a spirit around this area here.
Where's the cat ball?
This one was going off.
Can you do that again for us?
We have a cat ball. We have a K2 meter sitting over here. Can you set the cat ball off for us again, just to show us that you're here? Or can you come up to this pod and set it off by coming close to it, just to show us you're here? We come with a lot of respect, a lot of love for you. We're very, very curious about some of these graves here that are unmarked. I've also got a static radio which I've set to a very high frequency, and hopefully we might be able to get any spirit here to come close to the aerial and use this energy to try and speak to us through this static high frequency radio. We've also got some cat balls out here because we do believe there are some kids out in this cemetery. Not some cat balls, some marbles out here because we do believe there are some kids out in the cemetery, or there might be some adults who are very familiar with the vintage marbles. So if you'd like to come and push one of those and leave a bit of a track and show us that you're here, that would be great. And this is the last of the 4 here. But there's around about 13, 15 grave sites connected to Skeeta's family. And we'll gather together and we'll see what we can find out. So we've got Sally playing around with some rods at the minute. You picking up anything, sensing anything?
I was sensing something under that tree a minute ago, but now this rod is very set in that direction. While this one's just doing a bit of a scan. So I think there's multiple things it could be picking up on.
A few things around too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this grave here, I actually picked up 3. One was a teenager in the middle, and a male and a female. A male and a female in that one, but who they are, who knows. We'll get the group together and we'll try a little necrophonics, see what happens. Think something's here.
My rods are picking up on
I reckon it's an unmarked grave.
I think so.
Sally was picking up something in front of her, and I think this area here is an unmarked grave.
Yeah. Oh,
So you
something's
never know.
behind me.
We've got the pod going off again. Sounds more like a build up. Occasionally these pods will just build up the energy a little bit. The cat ball's going off again. Again, this cat ball's going off, and it shouldn't have gone off.
Cat ball's going up again. I think. Why did I just put it? Interesting.
Actually, if you look at the land, it is unmarked.
Yeah. Because my rods were almost like centered somewhere,
Yep.
so I'd sort of walk around it like
Yep.
so, and they
Yep.
wouldn't move. I really, picking up on something here.
But that's the same over here too.
Exactly the same.
Actually, where I've put my
There are a few, aren't
bags, I think I've popped my bags on top of an unmarked graves there too. Because the grass is just so different.
there? There are more unmarked graves than we thought, I think.
Yeah, I'd say there's a lot of unmarked graves. We'll test out that theory too. But it was interesting to see the cat ball go off before. Just trying to keep these things in the shade a little bit
Yeah.
so we can see when they're going off.
To ask you a question. Now I've put my little baby on your grave. Can you see that? Do you like having the baby there? Oh, she's crying. Alice, did you have a baby? Did you keep your baby? Did your baby die? Pass away? Did they take your baby from you? Oh, sweetheart. Oh, I'm about to cry. The grief. Were you married, Alice? No. Did you get pregnant without being married? Did they send you away? Did you pass away having the baby? Is the baby a girl? Did you see the baby? No, you passed away. Did you pass away after you had her? Did you get sick? I've got a very big man standing behind me and he's not happy. Who's her father?
I think John. Yeah, John Henry.
He's not happy on asking this question. He's a very big man.
They were very tall.
He's a very big man. He's a very big presence. Alice, is your father standing behind me? Is he upset that I'm asking these questions? His name's John. John, are you there? Would you like to talk to me? Oh. John, I'm not here to disrespect your family name. We're trying to find out what happened to Alice. Yes. I mean you no disrespect at all. I've got cold shivers right down my leg and I'm standing in the sun. I mean no disrespect, John. The lady standing next to me with the hat on, her name's Skeeta. She's related to you and Alice. You know that. You've seen her out here before. Yes. She wanted to know what happened to Alice because there's no record of it and she was concerned. Did Alice get pregnant out of wedlock? Was she sent so she could have the baby in a place with the nuns? Did she pass away? Oh, cold shiver. Now he's feeling very remorseful. Do you blame yourself, John? The anger that you have isn't focused at me, it's at yourself, isn't it? You just get defensive. Alice, are you there? Do you like my baby? She's very sweet, isn't she? Oh. It's like she's got a hole in her soul. A broken heart because the baby was taken from her.
Okay.
She wanted to keep it. There's another woman here now.
We're just asking Spirit to use both sets of rods to confirm the questions that are being asked.
The lady that's just rocked up and standing behind Sally, are you Alice's mother? You're also...
Two rods crossing.
You're also an Alice? She's crying too.
Yeah.
Oh, so much remorse.
Yeah.
What did you say about secrets? Is there a few secrets in this family?
Somebody's been pointing.
There's secrets over there.
Pointing
too.
over that. Secrets that way. Is there unmarked? Can I ask you, just enter your rods for a second. Can I just ask, are there unmarked graves associated with the family here? Yes. Okay.
Go and stand just over there.
Hold on. Before you move, can you show us where the graves are? If the girls start walking,
It's there.
can you cross the rods when they get close to an unmarked grave?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So if you want to start walking
You walk
around,
that way.
we're going to try and find some unmarked graves, because I do feel that there are several unmarked graves here and associated with the family as well.
Yeah, it's right there. I've got John saying she's gone past it.
So we're going,
Take the long road.
take the long road. We're going to walk this way. This spot here has been picked as an unmarked grave. Just going to follow Sally. Sally's been led over here. Okay, and usually where the rods cross, where you're standing is where there's an unmarked grave. That's the way I've found it usually works. So just in this area here's an unmarked grave. Just center the rods for a second. Is this unmarked grave associated with the family? Cross the rods for yes. Okay. Pull apart for no. So it's associated with the family that we've come here for. Yep, cool. So over here we've got an unmarked grave as well. It's associated with the family. Alright. Can you show us where there's any more? Can you lead us in a direction where there's more? And cross the rods when we get to an area where there's another unmarked grave associated with the family. We're wanting to go over in this direction here. And we're pulled back here again. We're a big cross here, so this area here, the rods are crossing for Sally. There's definitely something going on here as an unmarked grave. Do you want to walk in that direction and we'll just see if that is. No, it wants to come back here. So this is associated to the family too, so there's something going on here. Just have a wander over this direction. The rods are sort of going a little bit erratic there. Is there anyone around this area that's where there's an unmarked grave associated to the family as well? Sort of a yes. Ah, well, okay. We're sort of pointing to these back ones, aren't we?
Yeah.
So these are the graves that are unmarked, and these are associated to the Cunningham family as well.
I think it's just confirming.
It's just
what we
confirming
suspect.
this is definitely part of the Cunningham family. And remembering this cat ball went off before. Pod's still here. Radio's still on. I haven't heard anything coming from that one. It's just a static one. And there's a couple of funny little marks down here too. And it's like the balls have been picked up and dropped.
Yeah,
you can see a couple of marks there where these marbles here, just on here. Yep, that one there. So that's interesting, they weren't there before.
No.
Marbles were carefully placed in position, and if they were to roll you'd see the track. But it looks like somehow these marbles have been picked up.
This one's even got flour on it.
Haven't been, yes, it's got flour on it as well. So it's been pushed or moved. So that's interesting. That's another indication that the spirit are around and listening to us. So that's cool. What about here? 'Cause this is an interesting area. Is this part of an unmarked grave associated to the family as well? Can you cross the rods for yes or pull them apart for no? No, we've got a definite no here, so this is not connected to the family. Can we ask, is there somebody buried here though? Definite yes. There you go, fantastic.
To them.
She may have had an illegitimate child also, I believe. 1 or 2.
Relax.
I'm
You've
looking
tensed.
at them.
Yeah, you've
I'm thinking
tensed
about
up
them
because the
instead.
camera's here.
Yeah.
Just relax. Think about what you're saying, not what you're doing.
There was, one of the Murphy women. She was pretty naughty.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
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 And she,
Was she a lady of questionable reputation, John? One of the Murphy ladies? There's a lady of questionable reputation standing behind her.
I saw,
Did you feel that?
Did she like to have a little bit of fun?
Oh, John just said too much fun.
yeah.
Did you feel that?
There was talk that
Yeah, too much
Yeah,
fun.
there's a little bit.
she used to sneak out her bedroom window for cash, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
anytime, anywhere.
confirmations.
Yeah. Anytime, anywhere.
Yeah. Naughty stuff. Suspect.
This little lady in the shade.
That was the strangest feeling. Someone bumped my elbow.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
That was quite strange. Don't focus on
John,
that.
yeah. John, can I ask you, is the lady who had a slightly questionable reputation from the family, is she with us now? Is she standing behind me? Or is she standing behind Skeeta? Relax. He's trying to push him.
One question at a time.
Is the lady of... Lift her tips up a little bit so they're balanced. There you go. There you go.
Wow.
Okay, ask the questions again separately.
Is the lady of questionable reputation standing with us now? Yep.
So,
behind you.
pointing to the daughter. What have you been up to?
Whose grave are you sitting on?
I think it's
Is it one of yours?
another family.
It's another family. But she,
And Bernard and these ones.
so she's standing. She's okay. John, is the lady standing just behind Holly?
No.
No,
Definite
just
no.
behind you.
Just behind
Behind you.
Okay.
Yeah, so she
Well,
must be
hang on.
behind
That's a
you.
bit strange, isn't it? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no. They can manifest wherever they. Usually, I find they manifest behind me. So wherever I'm sitting, no matter where I'm sitting,
As a behind.
they sit behind. Yeah. So she's probably behind. She's standing behind. She's sitting behind you on someone else's grave because she's a lady of questionable reputation and morals.
Agreeing, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Well, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, she's agreeing with you.
Yeah,
So she's
there's an
saying,
agreement there.
I'm seeing it, sister.
Why does it keep swinging around to Holly?
she's probably closer to Holly than she
Behind.
is.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything.
You're a very, very good girl. See?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Can I ask, does any of the family visit Skeeta and Holly?
That's definitely.
Yes. So you visit. Do you visit them at their home?
Try not to
Yeah,
think about
try,
it.
Yeah.
yep.
Away.
Think-
Yep. Okay.
I feel really dizzy.
Can I ask, is the figure that stands in the corner of the bedroom, Holly's bedroom, a family member? There you go. Yes.
Okay. Can I ask, who took the family coat of arms?
They don't know.
Okay.
They don't know.
Okay.
They're
We
not-
might actually get that on a necrophonics.
Yep. So do you want me to do that?
Yep. So what
Okay.
we'll do. Just heard the pod going off again. And this is sitting right on top of these unmarked graves here. This has been quiet for the last 15 minutes or so. And this whole pod starting to go off again. just been communicating with the couple of spirit, with the rods, and now this has started. Just going to reset it. Actually, we'll take this one with us.